up the AC. Hot takes.
Lights, camera, and action is large. Eagles get flattened. The lord to this debate, what I hate and get irate. We rate and irritate. Your game is on my plate. The fans anticipate. Of course, we give them great.
Gonna turn up the AC. Got the temperature raising. The latest, hottest takes. No bias for ratings. We coming with straight heat. That's why it's amazing. Go ahead and share the link if you feeling what they think.
Pulling daggers like KD. Launching missiles like Brady. Hot takes on the daily. Outcome is amazing.
Only kick with the IC. Analytics unlikely. No matter what they speak, hot takes, turn up AC.
Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. We just gonna get right into this one. I wanted to give you my predictions, for the upcoming season for the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. But we're gonna start with the Eastern Conference, and we just get right into it. Start right from the top. So I think the number one seed after the season is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they're going to win 60 games again. Yeah, it's going to hurt them losing Brogdon, but I still think they're going to have the best regular season. Just does not mean I think they're going to be the best team, but we'll get there, when those predictions come around. But I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be number one again. Giannis is going to be back in the MVP discussion, but he won't win it this year. So coming in at number one for my Eastern Conference predictions is the Milwaukee Bucks. Moving right on to number two, I got the 76ers. Now, these two teams, the Bucks and Sixers, are going to be battling for the top spot all year. I really think the Eastern Conference is them two and then everybody else, at least for this year. If Brooklyn had KD this year, it would be a completely different story. But going into the season, I got the Bucks and 76ers as the top two teams, and then everybody else. So, yeah, I got the Sixers coming in at number two. Joel Embiid's going to put himself in a position to be in MVP discussions. My biggest question mark with the Sixers has always been Ben Simmons and the fact that he has never had the confidence to shoot, from anything outside of the paint. And we'll see if he's able to do that when the games actually count. I think picking up Al Horford is probably the biggest move of the offseason for any team in the Eastern Conference because it hurts the Celtics and it makes the Sixers better. And the only person in the East that could have guarded Joel Embiid is now his teammate. So, yeah, I got the Bucks number one and the Sixers coming in at number two. Number three, I was back and forth a lot. There's three teams that I think could be in this spot. But I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics to end at number three. I think this is their ceiling. But it's going to be really close. These middle teams from 3, 4, and 5, I think they're going to be very close, separated by a couple of games. And, I think Tatum is going to have a huge season, a huge bounce back year. He got a lot of flack for his season last season. But I think the Celtics are good enough to finish number three. And, so moving on to number four, I got the Brooklyn Nets. I also have them possibly being a 3 seed. But for the purposes of this prediction, I'm going to say they're a 4 seed because, Kyrie has that, I think it's a facial fracture he suffered or something against the Lakers when he left the game. And, of course, KD is not playing this year. If the Nets had both of them, they're in conversation for number 1 seed, but they don't. So I got the Nets coming in at number 4. And moving on to number 5, another team that I think could finish number 3. And that's the Indiana Pacers. When Oladipo is healthy, they're a really, really tough team to deal with. They can beat anybody in the East when he's healthy. But the question is, is he going to be healthy? And that question mark is the reason why I have them sitting in at number 5, in the Eastern Conference. Moving on to number 6, I got the Miami Heat. I think Jimmy Butler is good enough in the Eastern Conference to pick Miami up and have them in the playoffs. And I got them sitting at number 6 in my preseason predictions. So we're moving on to number 7. Now 7 and 8, I think is going to be fought for between 3 different teams. And any of these 3 teams can get in. But number 7, I'm going to go with the defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors. Obviously, losing Kawhi Leonard is going to hurt them, and which is why I have them so low in the rankings. But I think the rest of the team that they have, with Kyle Lowry, Siakam, you know what I mean, I think Marc Gasol as well is coming back, and Van Fleet. I think their supporting cast that they have, that they had around Kawhi is good enough to stay in the playoff picture. But they're obviously going to have a big drop-off because Kawhi Leonard is now playing for the Clippers. So coming in at number 7, I got the Toronto Raptors. Coming in at number 8, I got the Orlando Magic. I think they're good enough to finish 1 or 2 slots higher than 8. But as of right now, I got them coming in at number 8. But it's going to be a tight race. Like the Eastern Conference, other than the top 2 teams, is like wide open. It's really wide, especially the bottom 3, 4 slots. It's completely wide open. And it could be a number of teams that could hold down these playoff positions. You know what I mean? So coming in at number 8, like I said, I got the Orlando Magic. And on the outside looking in, but could actually sneak their way in the playoffs and knock out one of those top 8. I got the Detroit Pistons. Adding Derrick Rose, I think, was a big thing for them. Putting him next to Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, I think, is good. I think that's what Detroit was missing, was a solid point guard like a Derrick Rose who can control the ball and get Blake the ball in positions where he can succeed. But because of the fact that I just think the Magic and Raptors are just going to be overall better, that's why I have the Pistons on the outside looking in. But I would not be surprised if the Pistons snuck in and knocked out one of those teams, either the Raptors or the Magic. So to recap what I have for my top 8, I got the Bucks, 76ers, Celtics, Nets, Pacers, Miami, Toronto, and the Magic, 1 through 8. So with that being said, let's get into these predictions in the playoffs, man. So the 1-8 matchup of the Bucks and Magic, I got the Bucks winning that series. I got the Sixers beating the Raptors, the Celtics and Nets all moving on. My top 4 seeds in the East are going to be moving on. Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, and Nets. I got the Bucks and the 76ers meeting up in the Eastern Conference Finals. And this, to me, is going to be a very, very close and a very, very even Eastern Conference Finals matchup between the Bucks and the 76ers. And I think the 76ers are going to beat the Bucks and get to the NBA Finals this year. And that's squarely on the shoulders of Joel Embiid. So I got the 76ers coming out of the East and going to the NBA Finals. I just wanted to drop my thoughts on who I thought was going to finish 1 through 8 in the Eastern Conference and who I had coming out of the East to represent for the NBA Finals. And once again, I got the Philadelphia 76ers coming out of the East. And until next time, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes. Go ahead and comment, hate, debate, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it all. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below who you think is 1 through 8 and who you think is going to represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. So until next time, once again, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes, and we're out.